Welcome to the Reiki Online training course. If you're here, it's because you might feel the call to explore Reiki, this energetic tool that has different many benefits in all levels, whether it is the mental, physical, emotional, on a spiritual level. Let me share with you that Reiki is more than that, and Reiki is an empowerment and self-growth tool. My name is Astrid Castellanos, and I was born in Lima, Peru, and I will be your Reiki teacher on this training. Before starting this course, the level 1 of Reiki, I would like to share my story and how Reiki changed my life over the last years. I believe in life we go through different spiritual awakenings. And for me, in my path, I will say that my first spiritual awakening happened over like 7 years ago, when there were many challenges and events that changed my life. One of them, it was the death of my best friend with cancer. A few months later, I started feeling sick, feeling so much pain in my belly. And then the doctors discovered a big tumor in my right ovary. I went through surgery and I got my tumor and my right ovary also removed. And this event was a life-change moment for me, because I realized how I was so disconnected from my body, from my essence, and that created a space where I could just observe my inner world and also how it was my external world. I started observing that the job and the lifestyle and the type of relationships I had in my life, where I was not feeling fulfilled with them. And even though I have this job for several years, it was a good job, good pay, and when I started working in the corporate industry in an office, I was happy, but that time I was not happy anymore. And I feel there was something new and bigger for me. By then, I have no idea where to go, any direction of my life, but because of my health, I realized it was my time to change. A year later, after this event, I made the decision to go on a trip and start traveling to Southeast Asia, because that was one of my biggest dreams by that then, 7 years ago. But then again, I started having some doubts and questioning myself if I should quit my job. It was a good job, but then I have a car accident. And then one more time, I felt there was something bigger than me, the universe, God, you name it. But life itself was telling me that that was not my path, that I should just make a change. Just few weeks that I quit to my job, and then I decided to go on this beautiful trip that changed my life forever. That was like 5 years ago, when I went to backpack to Southeast Asia. I went to different countries such as Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, India, Indonesia, Singapore, and in this trip I started reconnecting with my own truth. By then I was just thinking that I was looking for a place to be fulfilled, that I needed to be in a new place to feel good. But the real discovery, or the big epiphany that I had, it was that actually I was looking for myself, who I was, who I am. And through this journey, I started connecting with many people in my journey with the same purpose. Most of them, they also quit their jobs. They all have different stories, but they were just looking for something deeper in their lives, something that they could feel fulfilled. And I start connecting also with plant medicine ceremonies, listening about many rituals, stories, observing rituals, yoga, meditation, Reiki. And I started exploring myself with all of these tools. Yet I didn't know and I had no idea I will become a Reiki teacher and an energy healer or even a retreat host, because those are my main work that I do nowadays. By then, I was just discovering and learning about myself. I was open and I was ready to create a new life for myself. After these months in Southeast Asia, I came back to Peru, but I decided to move to the mountains, to not live anymore in the city, in the capital, where I spent most of my life. I moved to the mountains, and that's where I start studying Reiki, because I start meeting new people, more people talking about Reiki. So I felt for me that was my sign. I start learning Reiki, and with the level 1, which is theory and practice, I start rewiring my mind, my brain, and I start to understand my emotions. I start to understand or realizing from where this tumor came from, what stories I was holding in my body, the pain that I didn't allow myself to feel when I have the death of my best friend, and also other events that happened in my past, in my childhood. I start also healing my relationship with my parents from a place of self-love, from a place of compassion, of self-acceptance and acceptance of my reality or also my story, but in a way to giving a new meaning for my story too, from a more open and expansive perspective. After the level 1, I start practicing with myself, with my energy. I remember I was not so sensitive. I was not even feeling anything in my hands. But after a week of doing every day my self-treatments of Reiki, I just start feeling in peace. And peace that was coming from deep in my soul, deep in my body. And I just, every time I was looking myself in the mirror, I could see more than this physical reality. I could feel myself as just my true essence. Even though in my external world, still there was a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion, because still I was just being a traveler. I had no idea where to go, what to do. I was just in this space of self and deep reflection. I was just feeling in peace. I was feeling good. I knew I could trust in life. I knew first that I could trust in me. And the more I could cultivate my own energy, cultivate my life force, the Reiki, these all questions and answers that I had, I will receive this. And at some point, I will start creating a new life. Then I start working on a remote job for a travel agency for the next year. I continue also my studies in the level 2 and the level 3 of Reiki. Plus, at the same time, I have this job. I was very happy because I liked this job. I also have the opportunity to keep traveling, and also I start helping people. I start sharing Reiki with friends and family, and it was all aligned. It felt so good, but that time, and then in 2020, some years ago, the pandemic started. So when the pandemic started, I was traveling. I was in Mexico City because I went there because weeks ago, before the pandemic started, I decided to do and study my master's degree in Reiki, so I could teach other people and do attunements and Reiki initiations to other people. So when the pandemic started, nobody could travel because of all the restrictions. I got fired of this job, and for me it was a divine sign, because I realized I finally have a time where I could share this tool with people, and it was in the divine time, because with all the uncertainty or all the confusion, people needed to connect with this tool so they can connect with themselves. So 2020 was the year when I started creating my business, giving sessions, and helping people in Spanish and also in English, online and in person. I moved then to Playa del Carmen in Mexico, and that's where I start sharing with other and more people from different countries. So over the last years, this has been my devotional path. I devote my life to this path of Reiki. I keep working on myself, doing inner work. Also, Reiki opened me myself to connect with other tools, so I keep healing myself, so I keep changing my energy and create more abundance, more opportunities, so I can be able to strengthen my energetic field, so I can hold all of these beautiful gifts and blessings that life brings us always. And 2 years ago, I started giving courses, also in English and Spanish. And the last year, I got certified to facilitate Kundalini activation sessions, well known as CAP, which is a process also where we move the energy, the life force, the Kundalini energy through all the body, and this movement of the energy helps also break patterns and do a restoration of the energy for your highest good. I also create international retreats, and I'm very happy and I feel very honored that you are here, that you are open to receive. I invite you to start this course in a space where you have nice energy, that you're in a space where you feel comfy, in a quiet space where you can be totally present and focused, because these techniques that you will receive in this training changed my life and changed the life of many people, thousands of people around the world. This is an ancient technique, comes from Japan, but if we look back in history, it's been said that people used to heal with the hands more than 100 years ago. That is what created by the teacher Mikao Usui. So the more you're open to receive Reiki, the more you practice Reiki, you will get to experience the benefits. And you can create whatever you want and you need and you imagine with this technique. This technique is not only to sit and give Reiki to ourselves. This technique is for you to start working and centering in your power. And from there, in your regular basis, in your daily life, you will be more mindful, more present, more conscious with your decisions, with taking actions. And that will help you create and keep growing in your life. Thank you for being here, and I see you on the next video to start exploring and learning more about this tool.